Today we are creditors in the card game Foreclosed, and wealthy Uncle Moneybags is in trouble. His financial empire has crumbled and property must be sold off to pay debts. Will you acquire his hotel or maybe even a helicopter as you battle to exchange with others to ensure you're set collecting the right assets to maximize points? This one is low complexity. It plays 2 to 6 and it takes in the region of 30 minutes. And we can see the designers and the publisher there as well. Let's take a closer look. So we have a 4-player setup today, and let's get cracking then. I'm not going to go too heavy into the rules. It's a light game anyway. I've already brought you an overview. So what have we got? We've got player over here. They've got 1 face down property card and 1 face up. So you are handed 2 of these at the beginning of the game, and you're going to keep 1 secret, which will be revealed only at the end of the game. And you've got another one here face up. Now, if your card you're dealt has a little +1, you'll see they've paid a coin because that's a victory point at the end. So you typically start with 4 money. Those have got 3. These guys have got 3 as well. You'll also have 2 action cards, which are kind of just out of view. I just wanted to keep a simple view of what is going on. Now, this person has their gavel. They will be the starting player. And we've got a deck of property cards and a deck of actions here as well. So what are we doing? This player is starting, and they can decide to either exchange their card, which is going to get revealed now by themselves. So they're revealing 4 cards across the board, so each player will have 1 card in front of them, and this is the exchange market, which I've not shuffled very well because I've got 4 money cards. Let's just mix it up and hopefully there's a bit of property that comes out. Here we go. More money. Wow, I need to shuffle this one. Okay, so let's just say this is the state of play, and I'm going to give you a few rounds. Hopefully some property cards come out. So they now have a decision. Are they going to exchange this card with another player? And to do so, they'll have to put a coin on and they'll go clockwise. They'll start with this player and they're like, right, I don't really want to exchange with you. I want to exchange with this player, because they're trying to set collect different colour cards in front of them. And the more you collect, the more points you're going to get. So you can see on here that if we have, say, 1 card, we're getting 1 victory point, all the way up to 11 cards, which will get us 36 points there. And there's points for things like your action cards that may give you points here, points on the cards themselves, and there's points for having these cards in your hand as well, the actions at the end. So they are thinking, right, I'm going to exchange with this player. So they put this in front of that player there, and this player is thinking hard now. They're like, right, do I want to exchange for this money card? And I'll go through what money cards do in a moment. Let's say no, they don't want to. So what they're going to have to do is protect this card with a value that they're trying to defend it with. So let's just say they put 2 coins on here. Now, the player who wanted to make the exchange has a tough decision now. Are they just going to withdraw and go clockwise and try and do dealings with this player? Or are they going to try and swap that card? If they want to swap the card, they have to now match what that player made. So 2 coins. So there are 2 coins on here, and they get to swap it. They've already had their chance to protect it, and they didn't go high enough. So this card would swap over. And more importantly, all the money there would go to this player. So they're cash rich now. Okay, so they have had their go. They did an exchange. This player is up and they're like, you know what? I'm kind of happy with this card. I am just going to take a coin. So you can take a coin, or you can take one of these action cards. Now, you start with 2 in your hand. They do a host of things. You can have up to 5 in your hand, and they're worth a victory point at the end of the game. So I'll show you a few here. You can see this at the top represents who it affects. So it's going to be you. If this bit's highlighted, it's going to be other players. If it's all of them, then everyone's affected. You've got this one that's to do with endgame scoring. So you can see at the end, you're going to get, what have we got? Money, victory points per 1. So for each money card, you're going to get victory points. This one here, you can see you're going to stack it on top of your cards, and it's going to give you a multiplier of 2 based on the victory points there. So a host of different cards in play. So they could just take another one, which they're going to do, and you can see they've picked up an end game one, and it's going to give them points for having yellows. Now, you have to play these during your turn. You can play one, and it's at the beginning of your turn. So these guys didn't want to do that, shall we say? Oh, I forgot. And now it's over to this player. So, yeah, they've took a card as their action. Over to this player then. Now, if they don't want to take a coin and they don't want to take an action or an action card, they could do an exchange like we've already shown you, but they can't do an exchange with a player they've already sort of had negotiations, if you can call it that, with. So they can't go to this player. So they're going to come over here and they're like, right, I don't really want to swap another money card for another money card. I can't do anything with this player. And these guys have got a money card as well, which I'm not too fussed about. So I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to take a 1 coin from the supply to build up my buffer, which they've got loads of money as it is. Okay, over to this final player then. And again, they may decide to go for this card in the exchange, which I think they're going to do, because they can see that this player only has 1 coin, and you can keep the money secret or have it visible, up to you. I'll probably recommend hiding, actually, because this player, well, in the first round, they know they had 4, they know they spent 3, so they're kind of guessing they've got 1 left. So what are they going to do? So they're going to have to put a coin on. They're going to pop it over here. This player's thinking, oh dear, spent all that money to get the card and now I've lost it. And that's the interesting aspect of this game. These cards aren't yours until the end of this little mini round. So they're going to put 1 on anyway. And that's because they want this player to, if they're going to get it, they're going to pay for it. So they're going to put an extra coin on to match it. These cards swap over. This player now takes the money, and it is reached the starting player. So that is the end of the round. These cards now go into your property, which can't ever be touched. So this money card goes here. That is going to get them 1 money from their supply. This card goes here, if you can just about see that on the camera. And you can see these are dual layers, so it's a yellow or an orange. Now, because they haven't got either, they can put it down here for now, and they can make a decision as to what it's going to be. You have to commit to it. For example, if this player had it, they'd now have to say, is it a yellow or is it an orange? These guys get a money, so they are going to get a coin, and these guys are going to get a money as well. Okay, I probably should have had more space in the camera for you. So everyone's taken their cards. The gavel passes over. These guys draw, 4 more cards for everyone. Hopefully we got a bit of variety here. And I should add that these guys had a coin for acquiring this as well. So they get an extra coin. Did anyone else get anything? No, that is it. Now, we literally carry on like that. And I will do a few more rounds, but I want to just explain a few procedures. So you notice this player, I sort of mentioned they're going clockwise. And that's important. Because if they decide to skip this player and they start doing dealings with this player, if these guys protect it and they're like, well, let's give you an example. So they're going to do an exchange. And they're not going to play an action card just yet. You remember, you can't play 1 action card before you're going. You have to do it before, you can't do it after. So they're going to go in exchange with this player here. So they're going clockwise. They've put a coin on here. They're challenging that. And this player goes, right, I'm putting a coin on it to protect it. And these guys are like, you know what, it's not worth that, which it probably is worth that because they're collecting the greens nicely. So let's say they can't afford it. They then have to go clockwise to the next player if they wish to exchange with them. They can't go backwards. So you've kind of got this clockwise negotiation going on with exchanges. So once you pass this player and gone here, you can't go back here. So that's kind of a little thing to remember. So they've come in, they're like, right, I want to swap with this one. And this player might be like, you know what, I'm happy with the money here. So they will do a swap. And then they take the coin. So that's how the clockwise sort of figuration goes. Okay, so these guys have done an exchange over to these. Now let's have a look at an action. So we're going to play one of these before our turn. Because if you have these at the end of the game and you haven't played them, then the benefits are not going to happen. You're not going to score these end game points and what have you. But you will get 1 point for each card in your hand. So this one's going to allow them to discard a player's action card, which no one has got any out there. This one, what's that? -1 for having both orange out in your hand at the moment. So we're not too happy with either of them, to be honest. We're quite happy with it. Are we happy with an orange? Right. maybe they want to go for this green. Let's give you a demo then. So this player has essentially protected their card on a previous exchange. This player's coming along and they're like, right, I can just purchase that straight away. I put a coin on like normal. I put it to this player and they match the bid for a coin, and immediately this card swaps over. They get all the money, and that's because they'd protected it previously and they managed to hold off this player, but it remains there for the game. Well, not for the game, but for the round. And other players can then come along, match the bid and take the card. So these guys have been, right, what are these going to do? Let's have a look at their action cards. So what have they got? This one at the end of the game, if they've got this sort of configuration, only these 3 colours, they're going to get 5 points. And here you can see at the end of the game, depending on how many action cards you have or how many hearts you've got, you're going to get points, and -2 if you've only got the one. So a few things to bear in mind. We're not going to play any of those. We're probably just going to keep this card. We're kind of happy with the orange because we're already set collecting 1. So they are just going to take a coin and on they go. The last player then, they're kind of happy with this money because I want to demo what happens when you acquire more money. So everyone is done. Now this player, they're going to add this money card here, so they get 1 for the card and they get 1 for every other money they already have. So that's going to be 2 money. So the more you collect, the more money you're getting, but they're not actually worth anything at the end. You're not set collecting those. This player's going to stack these here, so they've now got 2. This player's starting a new pile, put that one there. And these guys are going to get a coin at the top, so remember there's some little bonuses. Now they have to make a decision. Are they going to commit this dual one to oranges, or are they going to go separate piles? They're going to go the same. Now, I haven't actually sort of had a look at these bottom cards yet. Now, these would be secret, but you can see this player has actually got a secret yellow there, which no one knows about. These players have got an orange, a purple, should I say. We've got another purple there, and some of them have VPs on as well. And we are over then to this player. We reveal, and we literally keep going till this deck has run out. Oh, we've got loads of money coming out early. Okay, so they quite happy with that green. They can start set collecting this one. Maybe they want to go for some money because they've got loads of money, haven't they? Maybe this jewel one. Now, interestingly, I'll give you a little example now. Let's say they are looking at this player here, and they have no intention of wanting this card, but they're probably thinking that player here really might want that card, because if they put it here, they're going to get 3 coins, and that money is powerful. So maybe they're just going to make an exchange on here just to force this player to put some coins to protect it, even though this player doesn't want it. So let's say they put one on here, they put it over here. This player's like, I really want this card. I'm going to put, well, maybe they don't really want it, but they just want to, they think this player wants it, and they're just going to put a sneaky one because they want the money. This player actually goes, you know what? No, I don't want it. And now this one's protected, and it's forced them to put a coin there. Now, why is that important? Because if you have money that you've protected your card with, at the end of this round, you actually have to pay this money to the supply, and you get to keep that card. So it's forcing other players to get some of that hard-earned money onto the board to protect cards that they might not necessarily have wanted to. So, clockwise, they can't go back and make an exchange here. They're going to go and be cheeky and go for an exchange here. So, they come along and they're trying to do the same, but they've got caught out. This player is like, yeah, I'll happily exchange. There's your money. Here's my green card. And they're going to be adding that, hopefully, at the end. So they'll take the coin. So that's the trickery in this game. Right, this player is probably happy with their card. They're just going to take an action card. They want a bit more strength. So they pop that over there. Remember, you can have up to 5. Now, this player, interestingly, has a card that is protected. So you can only pass in this case. And the only thing you can do is say pass and you get 1 coin. You can't initiate another exchange, and you can't do the action where you take an action card itself. So be mindful of that. If you've got a protected card, you have to just take a coin. Now, there are some nice action cards which let you, oh, perfect, this one. If you play this one, you can actually take the protection money back off that card, put it in your hand, and then you can carry on and resume as normal, which is kind of nice. So we are over to this player who's last, and they're kind of happy with that green card because they did a swap. So these guys, it's the end of the round, they had that there. They're getting 2 money because they've already got 1 are those money cards. This one, let's just start a new pile. And these guys, they've paid that money to the supply. They're going to get free coins as well because they got free cards. And this passes on. Now, you literally, as I've already mentioned, keep going till these run out. And at the end, you will have stacks of these. So you're basically set collecting colours. And you will reveal your final cards. So everyone's got these ones. Now, I probably should have took money off at the beginning of the game for these secret ones, but I did notice they had those on, so they would have had less money to begin with. And then you're going to literally look at the scoring summary. So you're going to get all points for these. So 2 points for that one. So this player, for example, would have 2 points there. Now, obviously, you'd have bigger stacks of cards going on. The purple would only get them 1 point. The yellow 1 point. These 2 money are going to get them nothing. And the green's getting them 1. But let's say, you had 3 greens here. That's 4 points. You're also going to get 1 point for each card in your hand. Now, there is a host of cards in here. You can see we've got money, we've got sort of sofas, and the art's quirky. But you essentially, you're bidding on these items thematically, but really you're just sort of after these colour combos. Some give you VPs at the top there, and there's dual layer ones, as I've already said. Now, in terms of these action cards, there's loads of ones in here, and you have to sort of read the rules every now and to sort of grasp what exactly it's meaning. But yeah, loads of stuff in. As you see at the top, you can see who's affecting. So everyone else is going to lose a coin. And I've got most of these upside down, so you can see, some ways to get victory points at the end, ways to get money just for you from the supply. So yeah, loads of things that keep it, mixed up and interesting. And then at the end, whoever has the most is the winner. There we are, folks. Enjoy.